Everything's jumbled up. Half the time you can't get your words out right, or you speak so slow trying to think of your words. It's like a constant fog inside of your head and your ability to do anything. So speech is impaired, vision's impaired, everything is just slowed down, and you feel like just tired all the time.
Most combat veterans are exposed to kind of sleep disruption, staying up a lot at night or staying up for multiple days, and then just various blasts and concussion, in the form of IEDs and breaching. PTSD and TBI, I think, have this reputation of veterans that are just depressed and suicidal and a broken people. And I've finished a master's degree. I'm an entrepreneur. I feel like I'm a pretty capable individual. But what I started to come to grips with was that I started to feel like I was a different person as far as emotions. Became a lot more reclusive in kind of waves. I'd feel good for a while, and then I would fall into this kind of reclusive personality. We was getting much edgier and impatient. I have 2 young kids and a wife, and I'm working a lot, and then I would be impatient and edgy around them, and impatient and edgy around friends and people that I was interacting with. And I recognized that. I just kind of played it. Put a mask on and faked it, but it had a trickle effect into the kind of rest of my life. The way that I felt my happiness. I was apathetic towards a lot of things that I really usually enjoy. I came to a point last summer where I knew that I wasn't the same person that I was, and my wife definitely recognized it. I mean, she's the closest person to me, and I had met Dr. Murphy several years ago. Just kind of heard of what he had been doing for some veterans, and then for people with other ailments, and children that have autism and other neurologic issues. It was just intriguing to me, and maybe I was struggling with what I was struggling with, but I hadn't come to grips with the fact that I could probably benefit. And then when I kind of fell off the cliff last summer, I sought out Dr. Murphy and this as an alternative to, what I guess traditional Western medicine would point to, antidepressants like serotonin drugs and other meds. And I have a lot of buddies of mine that I served with that are on, have been prescribed that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It helps a lot of people, but it's just something that I wanted to. Yeah, I wanted to try something different, right? I mean, buddies that have been exposed to opioids or opiates and sleep medications and everything else, and I think this was an alternative, and it helped me. I mean, I went into treatment and it kind of felt like a different person. Almost felt just calm. The biggest thing for me is it's like a mood leveler. It made me feel calm. I felt way more approachable. I mean, I wouldn't be talking to you right now the way I felt. I kind of relapsed a little bit, probably because of a lot of stress and kind of that type of stuff. And I came back for kind of retreatment about 2 weeks ago. But I was a different person. I would not be as forthright in talking to people and being just engaging. Just kind of wanted to stay to myself. And this is, I saw it work before. I kind of dipped back into where I was. So it might not be a permanent solution, but it's definitely something that lasted for a while. And now I'm back in it, and I've been treated now for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And I feel like I've turned a corner in the last week again. Really kind of leveled me back off. All my edginess is gone. More engaging. I feel friendlier.
And I laugh because, you can hear the ticking. It feels maybe like there's a piece of wood on your head and someone's tapping it with a pencil eraser. That's really it. And I was very skeptical, like, come on, some magnet that's pulsing is gonna do anything for me. But when I came in and we did my first EEG, Dr. Kevin looked at my EEG, and there's like 12 different brain waves it's looking at. And out of those 12, probably 8 of them were just flat. He's like, well, I know why you feel the way you do, but I can fix you. Those were his exact words. And one, I had a relief because I, it's the, as everybody calls it, it's the invisible wounds. But now they're visible. You can see them. I'm not crazy, you know. There's actually something wrong in there. And as we progress through this treatment, this is, I think, my 4th week. I do 2 treatments every day, Monday through Friday. And it literally takes like 20 minutes. But by the 3rd day, I woke up and I actually felt like the fog had lifted in my brain. I felt like I had motivation to do something. I haven't done anything really in 2 years. I haven't fixed anything in my house. I didn't help with the laundry. I didn't cook. I don't do anything. And then since this treatment, I've installed a faucet. I've replaced all the grates in the grill. I've done a whole bunch of things around the house that needed to be done that I just wasn't doing. And now I wake up and I feel like I want to be a part of the world, I guess, instead of just wanting to sit in my house.
This GUI, graphic user interface, we developed and told the manufacturer how to dial in stuff. So I can dial in 10.9 hertz. That's your wavelength when you're like in the zone. Like that's my number actually. I'm 10.6, 10.9. If I got somebody down here, that's sleeping. If they're doing that when they're talking to me, half their brain's sleeping. They're not well functioning very well. So it's very obvious that that's too slow. Right around here you wake up and become conscious around 7.5 hertz. And then if you got anxiety, you're way up here. So if that anxiety band is in your attention span region, then I'm hypervigilant. And if that slow wave is in my attention span area, then I can't pay attention. So you can show it to a veteran and say, I made you hypervigilant. I took this area and said, head on a swivel. You know, you're in a combat zone over and over again and made that part of the brain go faster and faster and faster. So it beats like this. And now I pull them out of that environment 6 months later and go, hey, we're done. But the brain's going that fast still. That's the plasticity of the brain. You made it go that fast. You train it to be that fast. I made you hypervigilant. But now we're just going to like Chipotle. But the guy's going like this with a head on a swivel and it's hypervigilant. So that's not a good maybe parent or father or friend. It's a great fighter. So here we are making these guys great fighters and then wondering why they're not having that translate to other things. Well, they're different. You know, the needs of the fighting soldier and the needs of a parent are really different. I don't want to speed like this when I'm talking to my son or I'm driving on the freeway. That's going to create road rage or anxiety or a different kind of behavior. And if I got too slow from concussion and I'm way down here, you know, then I can't think straight and it's a different problem. You know, then I focus memory, my short-term, my skill set starts to diminish because my brain's half asleep and not performing. So I find what your rhythm is at the ideal state and we just amplify it and copy it.
I'm going to retire hopefully in the next 6 months. I'll be done, but my wife's still active duty and she plans to stay for another 9 years. Before the way that I was, I didn't want change. You didn't want to accept change. You just want to stay in your own element. And now I look forward to going with her wherever she's got to go. Maybe not. Maybe I don't want to go to a carnival or a concert or you know, anywhere super busy. But I'm not going to say that's not going to change. It very well could.
You know, proof is in the way I feel, right? I mean, it's, you know, you can argue science and everything else. I'm sure there's skeptics, but definitely there's something has changed. It's doing something to me to make me a better version of me and optimize who I am and allow me to be a better father and a better husband, a better friend, and a better, you know, kind of business partner. So it's definitely been a remarkable treatment that, you know, I want to kind of rely on it and use it to kind of, you know, keep me as that better version of myself moving forward, for sure.